I was definitely not always this confident at all. I remember being very insecure in junior high, and I think what happened was I kind of got recentered to kind of how you are as a kid, where you're just kind of going around a little bit oblivious to everybody else in life, and you're just kind of doing your own thing, and you're dancing around and twirling in stores and singing at the top of your lungs, and you really don't care. That's just kind of what you have to do in life. You do you, and then if somebody else has a problem with what it is that you're doing, that's more a representation of that they have an issue versus that you have an issue. And I've come into contact with a lot of situations like that in life. They don't like that you decide to clash patterns as a fashion statement. Well, that's kind of more of their taste, and the fact that they're deciding to verbalize that is more a representation of their character versus a representation of yours.
My name is Sienna Paget, and
I would say I am an entrepreneur. So let's see. I am an intern at WOW, which is a fashion app, and I'm an intern at the Starfish Foundation, and I do kind of the same thing for both companies. I'm on their social media management team. So what I do is I grow Twitter and Instagram accounts and Facebook followings as well. And personally, I grew I think it was like my Instagram for my blog over the summer. My favorite thing to do is kind of the management aspect, but then for PR, reaching out to newspapers, getting kind of our name out there has been very interesting as well as getting like partnerships and just meeting different people in Silicon Valley that kind of offer different abilities and interests that could be beneficial for the different companies that I work for as well. I came to be so active at such a young age just from, I think, having a very creative mom and then having a very focused dad. And they both were interested in two kind of like opposite career fields. So my dad is into computer science and he does computer security, and then my mom has done event management and does design work. And so I think by having two parents that have such different interests and that we're both very successful, it really drove me to then pursue as much as possible in life and really live life to the fullest and take advantage of every opportunity available to me. My junior year of high school, and there was a class on campus called Virtual Enterprise, and you had to interview for it and write a resume, and there was a whole extensive process, and there was like 200, 300 applicants every year. And then I decided to apply for the program, and I didn't think that I would get in because they made a huge speech to the entire school that was in my grade level beforehand saying very few people get in, you know, don't be heartbroken if you don't make it. And I decided to kind of apply on a whim, and I got into the class. And what we did in the class was start a company within a month. And then we built it up and got our product in within 2 months, and then started selling in the third. The first company that I started was called Impact Design Company, and we made patterned socks. And the whole premise behind it was that all of the money that we made from the company for that year went to an organization that builds wells in Africa. Moving forward from that experience, going into new ones, probably occurred because I started Model United Nations my freshman year, and that kind of developed my public speaking skills. For instance, I went to the Stanford Model UN conference, and I was representing Kathleen Cleaver. And in an interview in her later years of life, she said that she did not agree with the way that the Black Panther Party had decided to use guns and violence to kind of make their message come across. And so being in a crisis committee that was reconducting meetings of the Black Panther Party, I decided to go based off of her later views in life of that we should not be using guns and violence. So as you can imagine, every single other person in the room had a very different perspective. But still, I expressed my views with passion because that's what was necessary. That's what she believed in. And I know that there was a lot of people getting upset with me and very, very vehement that I would express that view at all. But that's just kind of what you have to do in life. And so if it wasn't for that, then probably I wouldn't have been as successful in my first company. As a woman who's in the business field or even in the educational setting, there's kind of the stigma that you should be apologizing if you're being successful or successfully debating a topic in Model UN. But I don't believe in that. I think there's always going to be people that think that you should accomplish less or less than they are, but those people shouldn't dictate your life. You do exactly what you need to do, exactly what drives you, exactly what your passions, motivate you to do and to accomplish. And especially within the Model UN setting, I have a very particular approach. I say what my company's, or my country's views are, and even if they do not align with every single other person's views in the room, I will still state them. I will still fight to them till the end. I will create resolution groups on my own if I need to. And other people may not care for that, or they may not care for the way that I run or conduct myself within that setting. But I decided that it was better to be true to the nation that I was representing rather than just go with kind of the common goals of everybody else in the room. And moving from that, I basically was looking for any opportunity this last summer to do something, to make something from my summer. I didn't want to sit around and go to the pool with friends or go to the beach, because I'd spent my entire life pretty much doing that, and I really wanted to accomplish or learn something. And so I went on Facebook, and there's a Facebook group from a previous leadership conference that I went to with people all over the United States, and they post different opportunities that are available for high schoolers and for students. And so I saw one for entrepreneurs. And so I applied, once again, like on a whim, and there was like a 9% acceptance rate, and interviewed for that position, and I got in, and it was a 6-week entrepreneurship course in Boston over the summer. And that's where I started another company, and then I met the heads of 2 other companies that I now work for. So in the companies that I work for now, I'm the head of marketing for Lamona Software and for Outbully, which is kind of a daughter company, I would say, because a lot of the founding team is also on the Outbully team.